Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wonderful ILR260 students. My name is Jim Lotak, and I'm your instructor for information literacy. The purpose of this short video is to show you how to navigate Blackboard. Some of you may already have had classes and understand Blackboard, and it's not an issue for you, in which case you can skip the video. But many students, this is their first class, and it's difficult the first time. Keep in mind that the way Blackboard works is there's a course master that's applied every month to every course, and I have no access to any of that kind of information. What that means is I cannot change any of the content or any of the structural stuff within Blackboard. It's frozen out. So there's nothing that I can do about that. So what that means is you're going to have to bear with me, and you're going to have to work very hard to make sure you get everything done on time. If you look at this, is the first screen you should open up once you actually open the course. And if you notice on the left hand side, this is what they call a navigation pane. When you click an item on the left side here, what will happen is this visual pane here, this is the content pane, this will change and open up with additional information. So for example, if you want to do your week 1 assignments, you can just click on week 1, and then your week 1 information will open up and so forth. Now I'm going to go over what these do, the main ones that you'll probably be using in your course, before I get into the details of how to navigate within here. So the first thing, when you open up, this is your home page. The home page will give you like short versions, like links to other stuff in these different sections. And these can be tailored by the students too, but again, yours may look a little bit different. I use this primarily to look at announcements, and I start checking on stuff that needs to be grading, and yours may actually have assignments that are past due. I'm not sure how Blackboard works with that. So that's your home page. The second page is your syllabus, and all you got to do is click on your syllabus, and what will happen is the syllabus itself will open up within Blackboard, and then you can read all the different content and so forth from it, right? In order to navigate back to the original home page, and again, I don't like how this works because it's counterintuitive to how it, you would expect it to work. But if you hit this little X to close a program, you would expect to go back to the normal page. That does not happen, and you exit out and you end up having to go back into the course again. So what you do to navigate backwards instead is you hit the backwards arrow here, or sometimes you'll have this programmed into your mouse, and you can use that button too. So I just went back. I do not use Blackboard Collaborate for this course because, to be honest, the coursework is too easy. It's not something that's in need of details, and I encourage the emails and direct communications anyway. That's how I rely on stuff. The next tab here is your announcements tab. When you click on announcements, you will see it'll change on it'll take a little bit of time, and it's not working. There it goes. Okay. Now these are the announcements that I have made in the course so far. The announcement sections is where I put main information about the course that you need to know. So you'll want to go back and read the older ones first, and then the newer ones. Whenever I post an announcement, what happens is an email is generated and sent to your email, so you actually should be getting this stuff through your email as well. So again, you don't have to come into the announcements if you're reading your email, but some people want to kind of review the main points. Now, not every email that I sent comes through the system, so just realize how that works. Now I'm going to skip the coursework for now and go down a little bit to this discussion board link. What happens in this course, an online course, requires a lot of interaction between students, and they rely upon that for learning. What that means is they have this thing called a discussion, and most of the discussions in your courses are worth about 10 points, and 5 of those points are your responses to peers. And so what that means is this is one place where you can enter the discussion and see what things have been posted. Like, for example, I got some questions I'll answer today and so forth. So you can go directly into whatever activity that's in the course, which I do like this navigation techniques here. I rely on it a lot to check what people are saying when I'm not exactly just doing grading. So this is a quick link you can get into your discussions. Right, so that's an important link. Another important option that you can use is, if you look here on the left, is course tools. And again, I'm just going to navigate directly to the course tools. And when you click that button, you'll see a drop down with many other options that you can do. Now, I'm bringing this up because if you click this button here that says send email, this button allows you to send a direct email to me through the NU email system or your peers, because sometimes you might want to get in touch with a fellow student that's doing a paper on your topic, and maybe you don't want to post all your information in a general discussion. You can contact them through that, so I like that a lot too. Now, the next thing you'll need to know is this Grade Center down here on the left-hand side. So you click on Grade Center, and again, forgive me, the system is a little bit sluggish for some particular reason today. Hello, computer. And then you'll see, well, you may not have needs grading, that's for mine, but you'll see the full Grade Center. When you click on your full Grade Center, and this is in a very important place to look, like this is showing all the students and stuff, but yours should only show your particular information. And it'll give you how many points that you have as you go. If you notice, you can scroll down and you can take this little tab here and drag it, and you can go all the way to the end of the course, right? So this is where you check your grades, because some of you may think that you submit an assignment, but if I don't get to grade it, if it doesn't show up in the right place, I don't grade it, it won't show up here. So you need to keep a close eye on the Grade Center itself. Now, when you first start doing the class, after you read the syllabus and so forth, you just go directly to the week 1, because it's the first week in the class. You just click on it, and then the week 1 content will open up. The first box is really just an orientation, it's like a short introduction about what this week is going to be about. Underneath this, and this is the main way that you're going to get in through a lot of your content, you'll see the week 1 schedule and task list. This particular section has a detailed breakdown of all the assignments that you have to do that particular week. And it's broken down by the days that you should be doing them, because these are deadlines for you getting various postings completed. So think of this, you would think an online course, you're self-paced. It is not like that. You have to actually follow this guidance here. What will happen is every one of these links, like here's your course outline, links to another particular document, and you just click on the hyperlink and do each one of the assignments in sequence, right? And again, I cannot help you with these, they'll open up. The main thing to understand about this particular section, it'll tell you to do some assignments, like for example, it says complete the project introduction assignment. If you click on that, it'll only give you a description of what the assignment actually involves. And in most cases, they'll give you some examples and they'll tell you some of the breakdowns of how that's actually graded. It's not 100%, but again, I cannot control how that's done for me, right? Okay, I just went back to the main tab. But what happens is many students freak out and say, how do I turn this in? Because if I click there, it only gets to the instructions for the various assignments. Now, sometimes the links here will link you directly into the workshop. It varies per week because they weren't very consistent at that particular point. But what most people don't understand, and this is the biggest problem that I have, is this first week 1 assignment, reflecting on skills for your success. They're reading it in here and then they say, I don't, but they're only looking at this portion and they don't scroll down. And if you don't scroll down, it won't tell you where to submit stuff. So what happens is this first breakdown is just a basic breakdown in order of what you're supposed to do. But the way Blackboard was designed, you turn it in and complete it in a separate place. And that's what these separate blocks down below are all for. And if you'll notice, the week 1 assignment, and it tells you what videos you have to watch. When you turn it in, all you have to do is you click on this hyperlink. And again, it takes some time. So guess what? It'll tell you how many points, and then it gives you the spot where you can just turn it in right here. You can attach documents, or you can just type it in. It's whatever you prefer. What I suggest is when you do assignments, do them in Microsoft Word, so at least you can do the spell checking and so forth. And then when you do post stuff, it will be grammatically correct, because that's important too. Okay, so I'm going back to the week 1 content. And again, what tends to happen is people only read this and they never see all this other information down here of things that you have to do for this particular week, right? So what happens is, again, this is just your first assignment, which is discussed up here. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't be turning this quite so much. I forgot you guys are on a video here. So I'm going to scroll down. Like when you introduce yourself, you could just click on this link and it'll open up the discussion where you introduce yourself to the class. And again, because your peers are going to be working with you through discussions, it's an important. Here's some tutorials. This has tutorials on using Blackboard. Some of the links last time I checked were broken, but again, I don't have any input with that. But look at here, you got lectures. You click up under week 1. Here is your class lectures, and in these lectures you're going to have to read these and watch the videos for that particular one, right? To navigate back, usually what I do is I just go right back to the week 1 because it's very easy to scroll down. And after I read all my lectures and after I introduce myself, here is the workshops and actual assignments for each particular week that you have to do, like your new search activity and introduction. Some things will have a thing that says file submission area, and that means, guess what? That's where you turn that stuff in. So if you wonder where you turn in your project introduction, you click on this button and it'll open up and it'll let you attach your file and so forth. But you read the instructions for these assignments up here in this top part, which is your schedule and task list. That's the main thing that you need to know. And then, of course, each week is going to be a little bit different. Like, for example, here's week 2, but the organization is same. It starts with this task list. You read what has to be done, and then when you need to actually complete the activity, because this just gives you the general instructions, you have to drill down and read these other links for that information. And what many students do is they only see this and they don't scroll down because it's kind of counterintuitive. They expect everything to be in one page. Blackboard is not designed like that. So again, keep in mind, if you have questions, email me at jameslowtech@gmail.com. I have no control over this Blackboard system, so if you have technical problems, you actually have to go through the Blackboard help. We got to work with it. It is what it is. I hope this short little tutorial helps you get through some of the initial hurdles you're going to have through navigation, and I look forward to reading your post and being your mentor, hopefully, and teaching you some new things. You guys have a nice day, night, evening, wherever we're at.